And today on Mental Health Monday, we're talking about perinatal mental health challenges and how Pine Rest is offering support for people impacted by some of those challenges. Joining us today is Jean Holthouse. She is the Outpatient Network Regional Director at Pine Rest. First of all, Jean, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Explain what this is. What are these challenges? And because some people will hear that and say, well, what does that mean?
Right, yes. So for about 1 in 5 women that are having a baby, and for about 10% of their spouses or their partners, they'll experience perinatal either mood disorder, so depression, or anxiety from either somewhere in that time frame from when they conceive to up to a year after delivery. And so it's a really pretty significant problem, and it's one of those things that has a lot of stigma associated with it.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that is, unfortunately, even now is still kind of universal with mental health challenges, but we should say that it has gotten better, I think, over the past few decades, but still it is difficult for some people to talk about it. We're going to talk about that aspect in a minute, but how does Pine Rest reach out to these folks who are suffering from this around a time that should be one of the happiest of their lives?
Yeah, that's actually one of the hard parts about it is moms or partners can feel really bad because they're like, this is supposed to be the best part of my life, and it's not. So we have what's called the Mother-Baby Program, which is a program where you can bring your child and participate in it during the day for a structured period of time to kind of help provide some intensive treatment. And we also have outpatient treatment where you could speak with a therapist either virtually or in person to address those things. And we use also psychiatry resources because oftentimes we need to do some medical intervention on a medication basis to kind of get those hormones back in line and the chemicals back where they need to be.
Yeah, it occurs to me, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I mean, how much of this, if you know, comes from just the pressure of trying to be the perfect mom? I mean, because when you first, speaking from my experience, when we first had a newborn in our house, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a clue. And I wonder if there's pressure brought on by that.
Sure, well, it makes it worse. It doesn't necessarily cause it, but if you're already experiencing some of that, then you've got that pressure of like, I should be feeling, I should be doing. It makes it worse. And we can tend to minimize it as onlookers because things that are symptoms of a perinatal mood disorder, things like I can't sleep, or I'm worried a lot, we can just kind of dismiss those and say, oh, that's just normal, when in fact it's gone beyond normal to something that's an illness.
You were talking about percentages, about how many people do you help in this program? Do you have a ballpark?
I don't actually know the answer to that, but we try to reach as many as we can, and we're doing a much better job of helping like primary care offices know to screen for this and making sure that we're screening for it with new moms when they come into treatment as well.
Well, and that's one of the things we've talked about on this segment before, is that it's your primary care physician that kind of helps you across the board, not just for this, but if you're needing some type of mental assistance, that can be the clearinghouse and maybe even the person who validates it for you and says it's okay. But just before we leave, you know somebody, you see somebody, you feel like they need that help. They need an extra boost, but they're not willing. They're not there yet. What do you do? Can you help them?
Well, yes. Number one, let them know like this is not a sign of weakness. This does not mean you've done something wrong if you're having scary thoughts or you're feeling depressed. And then come alongside and look at, okay, what can I do to help you? We focus so much on the baby, but like, what can I do to help you? Could I fold your laundry? Can I bring you a meal? Some of those things that take a little of that pressure off. And then just listening to someone and not minimizing their experience.
And where can they contact you if they do need to reach out?
You can reach out to pinerest.org and the phone number, and you can even schedule an appointment online from there.
All right, Jean, that's great information. Thank you for taking the time to come in on this hot afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you.